Okay.
Awesome. Welcome everybody to I keep saying it, Tuesday, Monday night team call. It's still Monday. And I just wanted to say, I'm so excited about where we're headed. We have got so much, so many fun things happening. I've been on a lot of three-way calls lately with some brand new people, which has been really, really fun. And we do have some new people popping on tonight, one of which is Holly Telford, who I have to tell the story, Holly, because it's great. Right. But my husband sat next to her on a plane about a year ago and somehow finagled her to give her his number and said, "You've got to talk to my wife and he kept saying to me, "You've got to call her. She's so great. She's so great. And you're going to love her," and all this stuff. And, the thing I love about supportive husbands is, and a lot of guys do this business too, but my supportive husband was the one who introduced me to Juice Plus, who was the one who encouraged me to take a look at the business and take steps in there. And he's always looking for good team members that are going to enhance our group. And we have such an awesome group of people that we work with. And I just am really excited to welcome you, Holly, officially to everybody.
Yeah, it's exciting.
So Holly's a mom of 3 girls, very busy life. She travels all the time, works a very, very big job. And do you want to tell them quickly just about how Juice Plus came into your life? Because it was a while back, wasn't it?
I think I was a kid. My mom used to give me the gummies in a jar, and I thought they were candy, so I'd eat them. I liked them. But yeah, she used to get the auto shipment, so there would be cabinets full of all the pills, and I would just take them. And I've always been a vitamin taker, so for me, it was just taking another vitamin. But yeah, and then I got kind of, I went off to college and got unacquainted with it, and then I went to my daughter's softball game this last year, and one of the moms brought the gummies for the girls in between games to snack on. And I saw them in the bag, and I went, "Oh my gosh, those used to be in a tub." And so I tried them, and they've improved significantly.
Right.
But it's like my daughter's an athlete, so for me, I thought, wow, I need to buy some of that for her when she's out in her soccer tournaments and all of that, so that she can, keep her energy levels up and be healthy. So anyway, yeah, that's so when I met your husband, I was like, I finally found somebody that sells this stuff. So the rest is history.
There we go. So it's all timing, right? And that's kind of the point to my story, which is what I wanted to share mostly with you guys is, we're going to talk to lots of people over the course of the week's work, but so much of it is timing. It's timing on their part. It's timing on our part. And, Holly and I kind of did a dance back and forth for a little while to try to connect over really the course of a year. And I kept dropping the ball, and I'll be totally honest about it. I just got caught up with life, with my dad and my mom and everything that was going on with their family. And she was so gracious and so kind. And luckily we got to the space where we are now. And I'm excited for you guys to meet her and to think she's coming to a conference we're talking about. So that'll be even awesome. So, all right. So with that, I just want to get started with the invitation process for what we're talking about tonight. And such a great topic and something we always need refreshing on. And I honestly think that this is the kind of thing that you get really good at, but it does evolve. And even today, Danielle and I were on a leadership call with Lisa and heard about a brand new way to introduce people to the business, so there's always new tricks, especially as technology is developing and moving on, that allows us to get in touch with people sooner, better, faster, all that kind of stuff. But nothing replaces the personal touch. And that's what I just want to stress, the most right now is that it really is about a person-to-person business. What we do is we are in relationship with our customers. This is not something like a GNC shelf where we put it on a shelf and, they come in and they buy it when they run out. Like, we are filling their credit cards. We are shipping to their homes. We are inviting them into our homes. This is, again, a relationship business. So if you can work to build a strong, solid customer base of, friends and acquaintances and all the people you're going to meet along the way, then that really gives you the foundation for a business, but it's the customer care and that relationship that keeps going. So my point to all of this is that the invitation should be no different, right? So as when we're inviting people into things, we want to make sure that we are first and foremost honoring the relationship that's at stake, right? So we're not just calling down 100 lists of names, to see who will buy or not. That's not our style. I know a lot of other companies work that way, but we really have a heart on the intake process. And so the first part we were going to talk a little bit about was, how to share Juice Plus, the product, right? Like, just if you're looking to strictly get the word out and open up your business and launch your business and get people to take a look. And I wanted to ask you know, for some volunteers throughout this call, if you've had, a lot of you are working, you're all working actively. So have there been moments where you've tried something and it's worked? Because we want to hear from you too, you know? So has anybody had a recent experience where you shared Juice Plus and somebody said yes and they went to your website, or you took their credit card and you signed them up for an order that they want to share as an example? Anybody? And it's okay if you say no, that's fine. Okay, well then there we go. Be thinking, brainstorming, it's all good. So one of my favorite ways to do it, and you guys have heard me say this a million times, but it's worth repeating, is just, hey, I do this all the time at preschool. I'm walking, like we do the pickup drop off thing. We're like, hey, hi, we got like dragging kids along and there's all sorts of stuff happening. And I see the same people over and over and over again, right? And in the cross path, sometimes we play at the playground and get to know each other a little bit. Well, I have developed, because it's a like-minded situation, you know, and you're seeing people in that space, there's trust that kind of builds on its own, right? Which is kind of an interesting thing whenever you're like, even your dry cleaner, right? The person that you go to on a regular basis, like there's an expectation of how you're going to say hi and how they're going to say hi. And you have a relationship built, whether you think that you're quote unquote friends with them or not, they still have an affinity towards you. They're smiling when they see you, right? And they're seeing you on a regular basis. So in that kind of a interaction, what I often like to say to people is, and I usually don't have their cell phone or anything, but I usually say, hey, just a quick question. Have we ever talked about Juice Plus? And I wait for them to go like, no, we haven't, you know, because of course I know we haven't talked to them about Juice Plus because I would know, but I'm asking to open the door, right? And then I say, okay, you know what? I just want to, let's do this. Can we schedule coffee? Can we do that? Can we do that together? I care enough about you that I want to make sure that you got that information. And I can't tell you how many people say yes to that. It's just such a simple thing, but it's me caring on them. It's me asking if we have, right? Another way to do it would be something like, have you ever heard of Juice Plus? Right? The language is a little bit different, but you're just opening the door to see if they have or have not heard about it. And some people will say yes, and some people will say no. You know, someone like Holly who had an experience like 10 years ago or whenever it was, right? She had an experience. Of course, she had heard about it, but life happened and got in the way, and she kind of went away from it, right? Now, other people are going to say, no, I haven't. So either way, you just want to collect information with that opening question. You know, if she has heard about it, tell me, oh, you have. Tell me about it. That's awesome. Like, you know, are you taking it? Right? More questions, just questions, conversation. We're in conversation with people. And if she says yes, we high five them and say, awesome job. Who's your rep? We love your reps. Da, 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 you know, because we're a big family. We all know each other. And if not, right, then we kind of find out. So you have heard about it. What have you heard about it? Right? And then you hear from them, because maybe it was, you know, from a mother's brother's uncle or something, or maybe they think it's the juice it up store down the street and they really haven't figured out that it's a capsule, you know, like that happens a lot, right? So you want to ask questions. You don't want to make any assumptions, and then you just kind of go down the path. And you know, watch people's body language. If they're totally like shut off and they're turning their body away and walking away from you as you're asking them questions, it's a really good indicator that they're probably not interested, right? But if they're engaged with you and the kids are playing and they're like kind of curious, you can see their brain working and they're kind of looking up in the sky a little bit like that, then that's a time to cue in. And just, you know, I always say, well, you know what, do you mind if I share my story, right? Or would you mind if I sent you a quick video? I think it's something every mother should know about. And I genuinely can say that from an authentic place, that I genuinely think everybody should know about it. You know, what they do with the information is up to them, but it's my job to be that deliverer, you know, of information, if you would. So those are kinds of ways that I like to open the door. And then of course the follow-up comes from that space, you know, of sending a video or guiding them to a tool. I try not to say much at all other than it just makes a lot of sense to me. It's fruits and vegetables in a capsule. I don't know about you guys, but we work really hard to eat healthy, and it's a challenge these days, you know, and we do better on some days than others. But if you're open to it, I'd love to send that to you and see what you think, right? And 90% of the time they'll say yes to that. And if they're not interested, they won't. And that's okay too, right? Because we want to just keep moving on. Any questions about that? Does that feel comfortable or doable to most people?
Is there any way you could repeat just the last, the one where someone is curious, and you were saying, do you mind if I send you a video, because I think every mom should know about it? And then you just
I say every mom deserves to know about it. I think that's, yeah. Not should, because nobody wants to be shit on. I kind of avoid that word as much as possible. You know what that feels like, right? When somebody comes in, oh, you should do this, right? It kind of feels like you're being told.
And then you said makes a lot of sense. It's fruits. You said something about, I don't know about you, but I work really hard to eat healthy. Do you remember what you said after that?
It's usually something to the effect of, we try our best, right? But it's hard. It's hard to do that every day. And this is just a great kind of insurance policy, if you would. But I just try to talk to them and make them know that I'm not perfect. Right. That's the point of it, is I'm not perfect. I do my best. We do as well as we can, but then there's those days, and their kid comes home and says, I had 3 cupcakes because there were 3 birthdays at school. It was awesome, and you're like, oh crap, right? I'm in for it. So it's just, it's the point that we're all human and we're all relating together. The point of these conversations is to relate to people, to get on the same page as them, to ask them questions so that you can connect with them and have a conversation. And in the end, I struggle with, like, I know you guys always want like exact verbiage, but the challenge with that is it's not a script, right? We have to get really good about just like getting connected when having those conversations and opening it up with people, right? And the more we practice, the better we get.
And I just have a point about that too, because I was going to say actually to that, Jennifer, you have to do, like, Melissa can guide you with the language that she uses, or I can guide you with the language that I use, but that's what's comfortable to us. And I know Jen and B, for you don't need to take yourself off camera or anything, but I'm going to use you as an example for a second, because what I loved not long ago, she came to me and she was using some language that maybe she may have taken it from me, or maybe from Melissa, or maybe from, there's language out there, there's verbiage on Mission Driven Model, and we direct you there as a tool sometimes too. And she was honest and said, it just doesn't feel like me. It doesn't feel like me. And so we were able to have a dialogue about it, that, it needs, whatever you're saying to people, it needs to be authentic. And how you speak. I even shared some language with Greta, for example, before she was inviting to her first event, and she took the language I had sent her and said, I just tweaked it a little bit so it sounded more like me. Perfect. That's exactly what you want to do, so make the notes so that you can then go back and refer to them and kind of say it your own way out loud, so it sounds like
Yeah, if my husband went and said, hey, are you open to something? Like, are you? I think everyone deserves, they'd look at him funny and go, what? But if he's like, but he's like, hey, dude, you got to check this out, right? That's his way of doing it. And he's like, and then there it goes, right? So it is, you're totally right. It's got to be so authentic and so you, but just keep in mind the point, right? The point is to relate. Holly, did you want to add something to that?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I poked myself in the eye and I just cut up chili peppers and I'm
no,
it's burning. So I'm one-eyed. Yeah, I was just going to say, in this day and age, everybody is looking for healthy alternatives. I mean, it's all over the place with the probiotic drinks. I mean, everybody's looking for something. So at the end of the day, it's people want something that is going to promote their health. I mean, we've all had somebody get sick and we don't like that happening. So if you can get involved with something that makes people healthy, and your children especially, then, it's a great conversation to have. Nobody doesn't want to hear about how to get more healthy. Sorry, I got
Amen.
Burning.
Amen, sister. All right. Okay. So let's, thank you for that. So Danielle, do you want to shoot on to number 2, our second point, which was inviting to an online event? So we're going to cover 4 different kind of invitation processes tonight, because they're all similar, but a little bit different.
Yeah. Okay. So online events could be primarily what we're using a lot right now are these Freedom Revolution calls, right? Webinars, or maybe like last week, there was a doctor's webinar. So any kind of online event, maybe a Facebook party. And just, no, I don't have any notes. I'm not going to read anything to you, because what I will say is when I invite people to things, it kind of comes out different almost every single time. And the reason being is because I'm inviting different people every single time, right? So I kind of get in tune with who it is that I'm inviting to the event, and not to overlap, but this would be true to whether it's a webinar, an online event, or an in-home event as well. And what's the language that I use when I speak with them, as I just hold my hand in the air. So, you know, I might speak to a good friend differently, a little bit more casually, a little more relaxed than I would with, you know, one of the kids, you know, the mom at pickup that I don't know as well. You know, as well as I might speak to a customer differently. And so to give an example, inviting to the Freedom Revolution webinar, inviting a raving fan to that, right? So this raving fan, we were having some back and forth, and I know they were having such a great experience. I knew one of these calls was coming up, and I reached out to them and thought, you know, you're having such a great experience, you and your family, on Juice Plus. You know, usually when you're having such a great experience and this product makes so much sense to you, the business does too, right? And we had some back and forth prior before I even said that, you know, asking about how their experience was going. There was a little bit of a dialogue. And I said, you know, naturally when the product makes sense to someone, the business usually does too. I don't know if this is for you or not. I love that line, right? I don't know if this is for you or not, but there happens to be what we call a Freedom Revolution online event tonight. And I am pretty successful. I don't know why, but I do things last minute and I don't give people an out. Like, it's tonight. I know that's last minute, but if you're up at 9 o'clock, right, for us it's 9 o'clock. If you're up at 9 o'clock and you're open to it, I'd love to send you the information so you can hop on and learn a little bit more about our community. And almost everybody I've invited to has gotten on. There's been some non-customers that I've invited on to the calls as well. And the conversation might go something like, now mind you, I will preface this too. I have not done any recently to these particular calls, someone who doesn't know anything about Juice Plus or anything about what it is that I do. They all know what I do. They've all maybe heard something about Juice Plus. But again, inviting to these online types of events have been having a conversation one-on-one, right? Or a text message one-on-one, and getting into conversation like, you know, let me use the doctor one, for example. We have a wonderful opportunity, we have a wonderful opportunity to share some education with people we care about. I thought of you because I know you care a lot about your health. If you're available or if you're home Wednesday night at 9 o'clock, there's going to be a webinar taking place. There's going to be a webinar taking place online. You can listen to the comfort on your home. It's on, you know, heart health, for example. Would you be open to me sending you the information to get on? Usually they respond with yes, and then again, they get on, and then the job is in the follow-up. Does that make sense? Because again, I don't give you script.
I'm having a hard time hearing you, Danielle. Someone's phone's kind of munching in the background.
Yeah, I think I just tried to mute everyone out except for myself.
That's better. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we got it.
I didn't really hear much. All right. Do you want to ask a question? Because now I'm like, let me try and put this up again. So basically, okay. Basically, it's getting into conversation with someone, right? Knowing the style in which you communicate with them best. And the key phrases that I usually almost always throw into are, you know, I thought of you because I know we've talked about our, you know, trying to keep our families healthy, or I know we talked about, you know, bringing in some additional income into the home or helping out financially. I try to always remember those things in that person's life that I can pick out and implement into the particular event. So whether it be the Freedom Revolution one or an in-home event or something, some kind of overlapping. Right. And then using the Melissa's, what she said too, are you open to me sending you the information? I will say this, what you do want to avoid, what I don't do, is just sending the flyer with the invitation without asking their permission to have it sent.
Thank you for mentioning that. Yeah, that's really important. I think a lot of people in the beginning, they tend to just say, okay, I've got an event, and then they just send out, like either they group text it or group email it or whatever, or Facebook post it or put it in a group. And people, again, we started this whole call with the whole personal thing, right? I mean, it's a personal interaction with people. You know, I keep picking on Holly because she's new, but like we got to meet each other for the first time this weekend in person. And that was so important, you know, because if you're doing business with somebody, or if you're ordering from somebody or whatever, it's doing business on some level. You want to look people eyeball to eyeball and get to know each other, right? It's important to know that it's right. And same thing with this, you know, all those little details that you're collecting, Danielle, about your people. And it's just you being an active listener, right? And really knowing what's going on with them.
You can say, I wanted to say, if you're, you know, we do a lot of things over text message. So if you want, you can have like a portion of your message somewhat generic and use that to, you know, do a text blitz, or, you know, text off 5 or 10 or 50, however many people you want to invite to a particular event, and use that same chunk. I've done that before, but always, you know, start it off with something personal. Right? So just, you know, is it a little bit more time consuming? Yes. Does it have a bigger impact? Yes. And always think, you know, what if you were on the receiving end of that? You can usually tell if you're getting a message that was either made personal or totally generic, and somebody else probably got the same exact message. Right? And so just figure, you know, how would you feel on the receiving end? So again, it's about the relationship.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you did 2 and 3, right? So the in-home events and okay. So the last thing is really just how do we invite to team? And that's kind of the one that I think people get stuck on the most. Excuse me. And I just want to reassure you guys that you are attractive. Like, you are great people. You know, we have such an incredible, awesome group of individuals. And, you know, we've got over 100 people on the team that are, you know, that put up numbers every single month. And that's a special thing. And I know, you know, we don't see everybody all the time, and some people are more active than others or whatever. But the point being that you have a special team to invite to. You have a really special experience with Juice Plus to invite to. You know, when Lisa started this business, her sponsor had moved to Australia. She didn't have anybody. She didn't have anyone. So she had to kind of create that and like see what that was all about and learn from other teams and look sideline and upline. We've been so fortunate to grow up within a very active organization and see, you know, how that all comes together. And that's illustrated so beautifully at conference, you know. But I think that that's the most important thing, is just know that you're a part of something special, and know that this is something that people want. You know, people are looking for community. To Holly's point before, everyone's looking for something. You just have to see if it's a good fit. And don't take it personally if it's not, because in the end, you know, it's a blessing. Like Wendy Campbell always says, it's a blessing, the ones that come, and it's a blessing for the ones that go. And it's true. You know, there's going to be seasons in everyone's business. I've seen a lot of people, you know, show up and then go away for a little while and then come back, and, you know, in ebbs and flows and all that kind of stuff. But if you're true to your mission and you're true to your business and you're just consistent with the work and you fall in love with the process, like I teach all the time, just fall in love with the process with which we do this work, then you become that attractive thing. And people really, the most attractive thing, I think, when people are looking to say yes to something, is consistency. Can they trust that you'll be there? Can they trust that you're serious about this? Can they trust that this isn't just something that's going to, you know, you're going to do for 6 months or a year and then disappear, right? And so the more consistent you are in your language, in your imagery, in your representation of the products on Facebook, like all those things, the more that people know that they can count on you for representing Juice Plus consistently, the more likely they will be to say yes to a business, because nobody wants to fail and they don't want to sign up for something that's going to flop either, you know? So, so some of the key things in inviting that is, I always like to say, I come from that personal standpoint. Julie Herbst always puts out there, but you know, that I thought of you because, you know, hey, so-and-so, I mean, I'll give an example. There's a gal, Alicia. Okay. So there's this gal, Alicia, that I know, and I absolutely adore her. Adore her, adore her. I think she's one of the most talented, charismatic, fun people I've ever met. She's a super amazing, like leader in her job, and people respond to her really well. And I know that if she were to really take a step into this, that she would be an incredible asset, not just to the team, but she'd have an incredible experience and she'd be able to really impact a lot of lives. So in my communication with her, I might say something like this, Alicia, I wanted to reach out to you. I know that you're a Happy Juice Plus customer. I know that, I love being around you, and I can speak honestly to that. Right. And I was thinking the other day, and I don't know if this is for you or not, but I was thinking about, just what incredible energy you have and how great we work together. And I don't know if this is up your alley or if you're even open to it, but I certainly would love to explore it with you. Would you be open, or would you ever consider taking a look at my business and what I do? I'm actively looking for people right now, to join and expand with. And I keep thinking about you because of all these reasons. Would you be open to a coffee meeting or something? And again, it's that open question. Are you open? But in the process of being open to sitting down for a coffee or being open to do something, you always want to say what they're open to at the end of that. I just wanted to preface in the beginning why I'm asking her. I don't want ever anybody to feel like the invitation is because I just need another, I have a quota or something, right? Or I'm just adding another person. Or I think network marketing gets a really bad rap in that there's a perspective of, you just blow through a bunch of numbers and people are just a number. But here, I think we have a real opportunity, given what we do and the culture that we've created, to invite into something, The other kind of thing that I might do is say, I don't know if this is for you or not, but it would mean so much to me if we could sit down and I could share with you how it all works, because I'm looking to actively build my team at the moment. We've had such great success over the past year, and I really want to expand that and take it to more people. Maybe there's somebody, if it's not for you, maybe there's somebody in your life that you could point me in the direction of, or maybe you could think, make an introduction. Would you be open to sitting down and just seeing what this is all about? That's another really easy introduction and opening, where you're inviting them, but you're also saying you're giving them off the hook. Like, some people don't like to be pressured into anything, so they'll shut down as soon as you ask them to do anything, and those people, and it's okay. It's just, it's just, we're all different kinds of individuals. And so Gabby's joining us. So my point being flexible, right? Flexible and open. And just knowing like all the things. And I would, Wendy Campbell, again, another great teaching from her is, before you invite to your business, sit down and write all the things that you love about it. Write them down, like be really conscious. And like, as you're going into this process of like, I absolutely love like, the people, the travel, the fun, the camaraderie, the personal development. I love all of it. I love the accountability. I love, just the friendships I've made and all this stuff. And I thought of you because, right, it's been an incredible outlet for me, both financially and personally. And I don't know if this is something that you'd be willing to take a look at, but wouldn't it be fun to explore together? It may be another way. But again, all it's the same kind of stuff. You just kind of work through the language enough so that it comes out right. And you can always practice too. Practice on Voxer. You can make yourself messages on Voxer and see how you sound. That's one way. You can practice with your upline. You can do some role playing. We're all here to support you guys. And whatever it is that you feel like you need to take that next step, we want to make sure that we do that together.
Mm-hmm.
Is that helpful?
Just, we're always so heart driven. I think just staying tuned into the heart of the matter, whether you're inviting somebody to take a look at the business or you're inviting them to, your in-home event, is connecting with them, and that you genuinely want to spend time with them. Right. And even if it is, just an in-home event, but getting them to spend time with you, see what it is, like that too is letting them take a peek at what you do at the business, right? Because they're getting submersed now in the culture and in the community. And I always just get to the heart of the matter. Let people know you want to just spend time with them, and just to hang out.
It's also nice to say that though, like, the nice thing about this business is we don't have to work with anyone. We get to work with our friends. We get to work with people that we're really, that really inspire us. Right. And you inspire me. I love these things about you. Oh, look who's here. Brianne, you got the whole family jumping in tonight. I love it. But you said, it's that personal invitation. It's knowing what we're a part of and what, what we have to offer, and listening for the needs. Just be cautious that it's not always the people who are needy, if that's a good way to say it. It's everybody. Everybody's open to this business. Everybody's available, and everybody's out there. And there's a lot of really successful, awesome people that are doing great things that just want to be invited, so don't discount them is my point. Really, let's open our thinking to, before a friend loses a job, like it'd be really cool to build a second one. Right. And then should that happen, it won't take such a hard hit, that kind of stuff. It's a great 401, great retirement, and all the good reasons out, that are out there. So any other questions about language or any of that kind of stuff? Because I know we're getting to the end and I want to honor that for you guys. Anybody? Brianne, you're smiling. Do you have something? No. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, if it's really clear, then go for it, Danielle.
Invite away. Okay. All right. So what we've all been waiting for, the drum roll, please. So I think what I'm going to do is announce the top three.
In third place. All right.
Okay. In third place.
And it's for everybody's our tag game. We had an action game that we were all doing for the last month.
Which, by the way,
for money.
I'm really so proud of everybody that participated and played, because it was a lot of fun, and I think it really brought up the level of everyone's business and camaraderie and sideline, working together and relationships and friendships. So that was awesome. So good job, everybody. Okay. So, in third place, and so the top three were all super close in points. I was very impressed, actually. And me and numbers. So third place with 2,400. That's right. Yes, 24,000, 120 points. Unstoppable Divas.
Okay.
Representing over here, the only one on the call. Awesome job, Jennifer. And your team, Seema and Chris Ann, which is awesome. Awesome. Okay. With 24,495 in second place was Team Energy, which was awesome, I will say, because they had 2 team members.
Oh my gosh.
Marie, Keely, and Maxine. So they freaking rocked it. They rocked it. So
nice job, you guys.
And I will say, Marie, if you watch this recording, shout out to you. Marie was always the first one to get me her points. always. So I feel like she should just get extra bonus points.
I know, totally.
Okay, and drum roll, please. With 24,965 points. See how close that was team, I swear I had nothing to do with it, GDL, which was Greta, Lori, and myself.
Nice job, ladies.
Greta rocked her
No way.
tail off.
Yeah,
Greta,
she did. Awesome
Greta
job.
rocked her tail off. How many times do we hear her share her story on Voxer?
Go.
Hey, I wanted my
She
point.
had her first event. She has been inviting to events, to the webinars, I see her board. She plans out her week. I can say that because she was on my team, so I saw everything she did. You were awesome.
Well, Melissa showed me her board, and I realized I had one, so I had it.
What was that?
When
How funny.
that meeting we had when it was just like a couple of us, and you showed us your whiteboard.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, I have one collecting dust in my closet. So I took it out and started using it.
Awesome. Whiteboards are helpful. I have them all over the house.
So what I love that she did, though, was we all knew the tasks that we had based on the, the sheet, right? So she would write out on her board, share my story with 1, 2, 3, invite healthy living, Freedom Revolution. And she would write who she was going to invite to it. And truly planned out all of her detail, all of her activity from here, which I thought was brilliant. You did an amazing job, truly.
Awesome, Greta.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Way to
I
go.
can't believe we won. I didn't expect that at all.
So
I
it was
just-
Greta,
I
you,
just
and who
wondered.
else? And Lori?
And Lori, yeah, who's not on her, yeah.
Oh, how fun.
Which would
Oh,
be
that's awesome.
nice for her. She's going
That's
through
crazy.
something else, so.
Yay! Well, good job. See, the whole point is everybody wins, right? I think we put in what, $25 or something,
Yeah,
and
everybody put in 25.
everybody came out, you know, with at least that on the other end. So
Right.
it's
Think
great.
about new customer orders, seeds that have been planted because of the conversations you've had, right?
And that's what I was going to say. Keep up with the seeds, right? Because that's the most important piece. You just like spent that whole month doing all that work, and now it's like things run in 90-day cycles in our business. So
I know I'm starting to freak out that I might have too big of a party next time.
Never a bad problem. Never.
I say it in my message, the more the merrier.
Yep.
I know.
The more the merrier. Bring some friends along.
That's
Yes.
awesome. Congrats, you guys. Yay. All right.
I'll
Well,
post it all up too.
all right. So are we good? Does anybody have any other questions or anything for tonight? All right. Well, next week, I want to just mention really quick that Buffy Hegler is going to be our awesome trainer. She's got a really special book that's been making a big impact in her business that she's trickled down and shared with other people, and it's making an impact in their business. And so I want her to teach everybody about it because it's really cool. And, you know, it's all about getting a little bit of courage to do some pretty awesome stuff. So anything that works is what we're all about sharing. So yay. So come in tuned to take notes next week. All right, you guys, have a great week.
You too. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.